I don't understand this holiday. I'll never understand this holiday.
What's not to understand?
Thanksgiving. We're giving thanks to whom?
You're giving thanks for what you have.
How many times do we have to go through this?
Welcome to this special Thanksgiving episode of Amusing Jews, where we celebrate Jewish contributors and contributions to American popular culture. With Thanksgiving around the corner, we thought it would be a good time to revisit the very special Thanksgiving of 2013, the one we called Thanksgivukkah. I'm Jonathan Friedmann.
And I'm Joey Angelfield.
Producer-engineer Mike Tomren is working somewhere behind the scenes. Amusing Jews is a project of Adat Chaverim Congregation for Humanistic Judaism, the Jewish Museum of the American West, and Atheists United Studios.
We're delighted to chat with Deborah Gitell, Director of Client Partnership at Wilkins Media, a global outdoor media company. In 2013, she helped spread the term Thanksgivukkah with her sister-in-law, Dana Reichman Gittel, capturing the unlikely convergence of Thanksgiving and Hanukkah. Deborah, welcome to Amusing Jews.
I'm so happy to be here. Thanks so much for inviting me.
Could you take us through those exciting days in 2013?
Okay, go back to the time warp here. The year is 2012. President Obama is in full glow. Everyone loves him. There's this different kind of atmosphere going on. People are just reveling in the arts and the culture. And my sister-in-law was dropping off, actually waiting for her two boys to come out of day school. So she's in the car waiting, looking at her calendar like moms do, and notice coming up in, 8 months that Hanukkah, for the first time ever in her lifetime, was going to be on Thanksgiving. So she loves to, play with words. And so she was just, while she was killing time, was like, what would that be called? Thanksgiving and Hanukkah, all these different things. And then she said Thanksgivukkah. And it really, I don't know if it rolls off your tongues, but it was just Thanksgivukkah. It just sounded like, a word that's been around forever. So she just had this idea of, let me just, get the Facebook page, Thanksgivukkah. Of course, it never existed. Twitter, Thanksgivukkah. And, just for fun, she would just do some posts about it. She ends up telling me about it, and I just went wild. It was the greatest thing I ever heard. Immediately in my head, I was thinking festival, merch, food, music. This is the biggest thing ever. And she felt the same way. So we just for fun just started kind of working on it. So she really was very doing all the daily content for it. And it was there was a couple of people. It turned into 20 people joined the Facebook page, and because I often shared content that she posted and my brother posted content, we had a pretty big community between the three of us. And, suddenly we just started seeing people really enjoy it and join. So it started to grow organically. We never did any advertising or anything. So, slowly 4K, 5K, 6K. And really, we had months to prepare for it. So at that time, in my head, I had actually, I'm going to out myself here, and I was let go. My mom had died just a few months before, so I was going to morning minyan every day. And I just said, you know what? I'm going to really just put my heart into Thanksgivukkah. And just for fun, I'm going to take a sabbatical. I've never had a sabbatical in my life. I'd been working since I was a kid, massaging my mom and her neighbor for a quarter. So it was the first time I actually took a sabbatical, and I took a breath. And at that time, I decided that I was going to come up with a music festival in Los Angeles. So here Dana is really, working the community, putting content on, and I'm starting to, think about a festival. And then we also bring in a certified artists like Kim DeMarco. She was teaching at Otis at the time. She's a RISD professor now. She's had New Yorker covers, and asked her, like, hey, like, if you were going to make some images of this convergence, this special convergence, once in a lifetime event, can you help us? Because we'd love to just maybe do t-shirts and maybe do some merch. So she helped us, and we talked to her about different things about we felt, and then she came up with a couple of images. One of them was an appropriation of Woodstock. So it was like Thanksgivukkah, and it had, the Hebrew year, and it had instead of a dove, it was a turkey, and we had candles coming out of it. Um, and we found, actually, Joshua Avedon introduced us to the owner of Modern Tribe, which was it is still a retailer, but it's a new owner. It's a modern retailer, Judaica retailer, and they helped us come up with the t-shirts and sourcing the material, and all of a sudden we had t-shirts.
So Dana had prior proclivities towards portmanteaus before coining Thanksgivukkah?
I think she's very well. First of all, she's also in marketing, and she's very witty, and she loves word games. So yes, I would say she loves to play word games and think of things. So for her, it just came to her like the Ten Commandments. It just appeared, and this holiday was going to be celebrated. So that was kind of the germination of it, that she does have that proclivity.
I know Chrismica was already a thing that people had been saying colloquially. I don't know if you got any pushback or responses from other people saying, well, we just said Thanksgivukkah. I'm assuming other people came upon this combination also.
Yeah, that's so good. That's a great question, because the OC, prior to this, that show with Adam Brody, came up with Chrismica because his father was Jewish and his mother was Christian. So that's where he came up with, hey, I celebrate Chrismica. And everyone loved that. And there was something in the zeitgeist, and I don't know if it was like Obama, because Obama, had a white mother, a white grandmother who actually raised him. He had a father from Kenya. He was mixed religions. And he is Christian. But there was something in the air that people were just flocking to the idea of, let's all celebrate together. And I know a lot of people who are married to Jewish people, or might be of a mixed marriage kids. This was an opportunity for them to blend cultures. So, there were people who were intermarried, they were interfaith, interracial, and what we saw and why the Facebook page was growing is really from the community. Dana definitely like injected funny, little things. I mean, she was creating little posts before we even had ChatGPT. I don't even know what she was using, probably some apps. But it was the community that just came to this, flooded to this, to post different personal stories. Like, I married this, and this is that, and this is what I want to do. And it was like very personal. So, it just started to snowball. And, quickly we all of a sudden got to 10K, followers. And if you know Facebook, it's not easy to grow a following. And this was completely organic. So it was really great to read all these posts, because people were, really kind of, I think, like, also hugging America, like, wow, this is so great that we have this country that's made of so many diverse cultures. Like, that's what makes us strong. That's the beauty of this country. And we're all celebrating, and we're all, just loving that we're in a country where our neighbors are so many different types of people, and we can celebrate that in this country. Like, that's to be celebrated.
Enjoying the show? Click like and subscribe.
To say this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity is an understatement. Thanksgiving and Hanukkah apparently won't overlap again until the year 79,811. Did you know it was so unlikely when you got involved with it?
Yeah, well, we did, but we had no idea it was gonna just take off. Like, I mean, that's actually the joke. Like, oh my God, can you believe we came up with something so successful that is never gonna happen again unless we are like turn into vampires? So yeah, that was a bummer when we realized that, how much could we milk Thanksgivukkah? It was like 1 year, a very special thing, which is why, I thought like, let's have a festival. So it, but yeah, it was really, it is something that was kind of a message in a bottle, like something like so special that unfortunately wouldn't happen again in our lifetime because it was like Thanksgiving was really late at that time, and Hanukkah was really early. And so, like, you just had this, like, amazing sync up of, like, "Oh my god, we're gonna be celebrating Thanksgiving, and we're gonna be lighting the candles." And what happened too is in addition to all the people really posting personal questions, there was also so much content about food, about what the table setting is going to look like at Thanksgiving, what kind of just all the different activities that was going to happen. So it just it was really an unbelievable moment in our history.
So, as you mentioned, part of trademarking Thanksgivukkah was buying the URL and creating Facebook and Twitter accounts. Do you remember the moment you realized it went viral?
I do. Oh my God. I remember I was at Starbucks and, I was just on my computer doing the thing. And someone sent me a link for BuzzFeed. BuzzFeed had combed all the internet for all the Thanksgivukkah and our Facebook page. And they wrote on the headline of you went to BuzzFeed, which by the way was fairly new at the time, but it was like super hot. And they said, "How to celebrate Thanksgivukkah, the best holiday of all time." And they had so many, like, different images that they found on the web. They talked about us, they showed that there was merchandise, and that was unbelie I couldn't believe my eyes to see that Thanksgivukkah had made the front page of BuzzFeed, and for weeks, it was trending. They had this, like, little hot arrow that was trending. And then the other, thing that we saw that we knew that it was went viral is because we did a T-shirt of, like, appropriating the Woodstock image, we actually got a cease and desist letter from Woodstock, like, lawyers from Woodstock. They were like, "What is this?" I mean, because they were selling like, everyone was buying them and posting on the Facebook page, and, uh and once BuzzFeed went out with that, like, the floodgates were open. Every single publication so many top publications wrote an article about it in different angles. So, like, People Magazine, USA Today, um, Bloomberg, New York Times, the Food Network. I mean, a lot of the food companies, like James Beard Foundation, started talking about food, and I could give you the headlines for that. It was hilarious. But yeah, so Woodstock came around. It was like, stop this. Like, I don't know if they thought it was like going to be like a yearly thing. And we were like, first of all, this is like never going to happen again. So you can feel comfortable with that. And number two, all our proceeds were going to Mazon. We had like a big percentage to Mazon, which is a Jewish response to hunger. And once they heard that, they were like, you know what? This is great. You can do it. And we're going to donate our licensing fee. So they donated that, and it was great. Like, it was like we were all on the same page about it. So from that point, thank God they let us go, with that, because then the T-shirts were really selling. Nothing was stopping us. We added aprons, we added note cards to it. And every day there was more and more content about it. At one point, I Googled Thanksgivukkah and there was a million results. It was nuts. Like Washington Post, Wolfgang Puck, Josh Molina was talking about it and we retweeted him. Judy Gold talked about it. Mayim Bialik, Sarah Silverman. There were so many different people mentioning it. Colbert on the Daily Show did a segment about it. Yeah, he did a segment about it, talking about Thanksgivukkah, and it was wild. It was really intense. So the other thing that we did, which was a huge highlight, was on KCRW, Steve Giatakis invited me and Dana to come on and talk about it. So that was a lot of fun. And we ended up doing an interview for Israel Channel 1 on Skype. It was like in Hebrew. They were, translating us. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, the food, all of the food mashups were unbelievable. Like latke crusted turkey cutlets, pecan pie rugula, challah apple stuffing, Manischewitz turkey brine. And I don't know if you've visited BB's Bakery on Pico. They came up with the challah turkey. So it was a challah, the shape of a turkey. So it was just unbelievable.
The Thanksgivukkah phenomenon got you and Dana an invitation to President Obama's Hanukkah reception at the White House. What was that like?
This was mad. So, I had this wonderful festival that, Craig Taubman helped me develop in downtown and Pico Union area. He had recently bought a temple that was the original Sinai temple, actually, from 1909, that from that point had just changed hands from different ethnicities. And he bought it around the same time, I think in 2012. And was restoring it. So he, was so excited about doing something that would bring different cultures, especially in the neighborhood, together to perform. So it was after that time that I got an email, and it said, President Obama and Michelle Obama invite you to a Hanukkah reception at the White House. Well, naturally, I thought, you know what? Whoever did that, really cruel, not cool at all. And so I was like, you know what, maybe so I shared it with Dana, I shared it with Seth, my brother, and we checked it out. And we knew some PR people in Washington, and they said, no, that's actually real. And it was just 5 days away. It wasn't like we had 3 weeks to figure out everything. We just booked the flight, got there, went into the White House. I'd never felt like, when people use the expression, you're walking on a cloud, you're walking on clouds. Like, I actually felt like I was walking on a cloud. And I walked in, and there was a chamber, a music chamber. They're called AKA orchestra. What are they called? And they're like sunrise, sunset, playing this beautiful, the violins and stuff. And there was a bar for latkes with all this different types of things to put on it, and there was scotch and different things, and and Abraham Lincoln's portrait above it. So we were just so blown away with it. And then they said, okay, President Obama is going to give remarks. So everyone, scurried over, and came over, and out of a door came Michelle and Barack, President Obama. They came out, and they immediately started saying hey, welcome to the White House, and we have a special guest.
We've got Deborah Gitell. Where's Dana? Who actually coined the term Thanksgivukkah. So Dana, along with her sister Deborah, expect this term to catch on around the country. Where are they? Right here. There they are. Let's see them. Hey, guys. How are you?
And we were just like, what? Wait a minute, is this real? Is this real? And he actually gave a beautiful statement. He said,
there is a serious side to it, because they've said they always express their gratitude to America, a place where no matter who you are, you can always celebrate your faith.
And he just nailed it. That's exactly what it was. It was bringing cultures together, not just having one culture, but saying it was really the strength of the diversity of this country, that he just crushed it. He knew exactly what it was. And it was just a beautiful bookend to what was an incredible journey, very short journey, but incredible journey of this mashup of a holiday.
Looking back, do you have any thoughts about why Thanksgiving became such a big deal?
Yeah, I think it just touched people personally. It was very personal. If you're married to a Jewish person, or you are married to or your father or your mother is Jewish, or you have even just some sort of Jewishness, and even beyond that, people who are just Italian marrying an Irish person, or black marrying a white person. It really did tout the beauty of this country, that we aren't just one culture. Like, there's a reason why people left their countries to come to this beautiful experiment, the United States. And there are special people who left their world. They weren't playing it safe, like, I'm gonna just stay in Russia, where they, don't give me any rights, or South America, or any really where around the country. Like, these were special people, these immigrants who decided to risk their life and everything, their family, to go to America. And this was a celebration of that experiment. So I think it just touched people personally. And I remember just after Thanksgivukkah, I started a new job, and this woman who, blonde and blue-eyed, not that, we have plenty of blonde and blue-eyed Jews, but, she was working with me, and she turned around and she said, I gotta tell you, I really love Thanksgiving. I've been married to an Israeli for for 20 years, and it was just so exciting for me to think about, like, what kind of food could we serve to celebrate both holidays, and what could we do to set the table, and how else could we just join these two holidays. So that's what I think it was. It was just really, really embracing United States, and the strength of our differences, really.
Well, thanks so much for joining us, Deborah. This has been a lot of fun.
Thank you, and hey, happy Thanksgiving.
And to our audience, now back to your regularly scheduled lives.
Amusing Jews is here to amuse you. If you like being amused, go ahead and click like and subscribe.